at least we all know what the bill is for, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Abe.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Oh, journey. Okay, good.
Okay, we finished Perek today. It's a tough Perek. These last two Prokim have been very difficult. So we're on Ayin Hay, 75. Torah Rabbanan. Oimran l'chavero, ilveni kurchitin. Remember, we've been learning you can't go to your neighbor, loan me a cup of sugar, I'll give you back a cup of sugar, because of the cup of sugar, when you give it back, may be more valuable. And therefore it looks like ribbis. However, if you set a price, kurchitin v'koitis ledomim, you say, here's loan me a bushel of wheat. And the wheat is $1 a bushel. Huzlu, we have to pay it back, and now the wheat is cheaper. So you since it's not worth less, there's no ribbis. So you can give him back the bushel of wheat. Hukru, now that's a problem, right? If you borrowed wheat at $1 a bushel, now it's worth $1.50, and you give him back a bushel of wheat, you're giving him ribbis. So noisin d'meim, you only give $1 worth of the wheat, not anymore. Now, the Gemara wants to know that when it went down in price, you give him wheat, but v'halo kotzat, so what was the point of setting a price? You owe him that amount and not, and so Amrav Shehochi Kamer, imlo kotzat. If you didn't set the price, then im huzlu, no telchita. You didn't say anything about a price, then you can give the wheat. But im hukru, no sintemeim, they went up in price, you only give the amount of wheat for that amount of money so that you don't end up paying ribbis. Okay, Walter, we're on Ayin Hay 75, the Mishnah. Mario, we are on Ayin Hay 75, the Mishnah. Lo yomar l'chaver al veni kurchitin, loan me a bushel of wheat, v'ani eita lecha legoran, and the goran, which is the harvest time down the road, and we're concerned the price will go up. When you give him back that bushel, it's going to be worth more, and that's ribbis. You can't do aval omer lo, hilveni, loan it to me for a day. I can't find the key to my machsan. My son has the key. So just give it to me until they get back. So then there's no worry that the prices are going to change. So you're allowed to do it. However, Hillel oyster. Hillel forbidden you to even do that. A housewife shouldn't loan a loaf of bread to her neighbor until they say, oh, and it's worth $1. Because otherwise, if the price of bread now goes up to $1.50, so Hillel didn't allow. Shulchan Aruch Paskins, I'm not allowed to loan a bushel for a bushel unless I set the price. And if I set the price and it goes down, I can give him back the bushel. If it goes up, I just have to give him that amount of dollar amount in wheat. That way there's no ribbis. If you have a small amount But let's go weiter. Amarav Huna, Yesh lo saw lo v'saw. So this is the exception to saw b'saw, that if the guy has a saw, I can loan a saw. Because I can return it immediately. So Sayim love is a son. If I have two, I can loan two. I can do a 50 coin if I have the saw. Since I can return something right away, there's no ribbis. Tani Rav Chia, L'siyua. There's a support. Tipas yayin ein lo. Tipas shaman ein lo. So I can't loan wine for wine if I don't have wine. But in Yeshlo, you can do it. Lova aleh kama v'kama tipin. Even if I have a gallon, I can loan 50 gallons. Hillel oyser. Hillel answered even in the short term. But for less ilchus kavose. The halacha is not like Shmuel. Hillel omer lo tilva isha. You can't loan even a loaf of bread. I mean, Shmuel zudivrei Hillel. These small amounts, people are not medagdek b'cheshbonis, and you can do it. And the Shulchan Aruch says, some say it's mutter to loan a loaf of bread for a loaf of bread because people are not makpid. And the Ramah says v'cheinogin lahakel. So our minig is to be lenient regarding that. You have a group of people that eat together, and they're makpid that one should eat more. Each should eat what they, equally. Now, if they eat together on Shabbos, it leads to problems. Oivri mishum mida, because they're measuring things out, mishum mishkol, weighing, mishum minyan, counting, and you're not supposed to do that on Shabbos. Umishum lovim uparim biyontif, they borrow and they pay back. And k'divrei Hillel, mishum ribis. The way Hillel's learning, they're over even ribis. Amri Shmuel. Talmidei chachamim mutarim l'voi zemi zemi ribis. Talmidei chachamim can loan to each other beribis. My time, made yada deribis asura, umatana hudiyav ladadi. When a Talmid Chacham pays back $1,200 for a $1,000 loan, they know that it's not that ribis is asur, and they're giving a gift. It's a matana ba'alma. Loan me 100 peppers, and I'll give you back 120. And it's okay, because it's a matana, it's a gift. You can loan money to your children, beribis. You want to teach them not to do it, so you can do it. The halach is not like that. We don't want our children to fall into bad habits. Mishnah. I have weeds to get out of my garden. You help me weed, I'll help you weed. Rake with me and I'll rake with you. So you're allowed to do that. But v'lo yomer lo nachesh imi ve'edorimcha. You weed for me and I'll rake for you, because that might be more valuable. Or odarimi v'nakeshimcha. The extra work that you're doing might be viewed as ribbis. Kol yemei gorid echad. That means if you agree with your neighbor, you help me for one day and I help you for one day. The day when it's dry, the day it's dry, the dry season. So it's all considered like one time. And the rainy season, the same thing. It's all considered one season. Plow with me during the dry season, I'll plow with you during the wet season. The amount of work is different, it's considered like ribbis. Rabbi Gamliel Omer yesh ribis mukdemes v'yesh ribis mucheres. There's prepaid ribis and postpaid ribis. What's ketza? Nasanenu l'nosamenu. I want to borrow money from Mario. So I send you a gift. You know, I want you to make me a loan. If you clearly connect the gift with his making you a loan, Zui ribis mukdemes. I've prepaid the ribis. Love him and moisa. I borrowed money from Mario and I paid him back. But then I send him a color television. And I say, listen, your $1,000 was in my possession for 6 months and you could have earned money on it. So I'm giving you a gift. Zui ribis mucheres. That's delayed ribis. Rab Shimon Omer yesh ribis dvorim. Lo yomer lo dak ki bo ish ploni mimokum ploni. Somebody made you a loan and you give him some news that a certain important person is coming into town so he could meet with them and make business. That's ribis dvorim. The following people are involved in the love of ribis. Hamal, the lender, Valoiva, the borrower, Ha'orev, the co-signer, Va'edim, even the soifer. They're all oiver mishum lo sitain. It says as kaspacha lo sitain lo beneshech, and mishum al tikach me'ito neshech v'ribis, and lo sielacha kenoshe, and lo sistimun alav nashech, and mishum lifnei iver lo sitain michshav v'reis mokecha ani Hashem. So there's a big whammy of averis that you're over if you participate in ribis.
Yeah.
That's the Mishnah. Tanya Reb Shimon ben Yochai Omer. If I try to collect money from him, I borrowed money from this guy, and normally I don't say Shalom Aleichem to him. Well, now, I can't say Shalom Aleichem to him. Because that's ribis. Talmud Lemer, Neshech kol dover asher yishach afilu dibur. Asher dover is darshan dibur. Even doing extra speech, which is not appropriate, like to tuchas like the person, is not appropriate. Then the Mishnah said, Elu oivrim, the following are oivrim mishum ribis. Amr Abaya, the malva is over bekula. The lender is over all of these. The love is over mishum lo sashich lachich. Don't owe money. Ulachich lo sashich. Lifnei iver lo sitei michshol. The borrower is doing a lifnei iver to the lender. So he's over 3. Don't place on him neshech. So they're over 1. Tanya Rosh Hashanah. More than what they gain in ribis, they lose. By taking ribis, they make from Moshe and his Torah sheker. The Gemara says emes, but it's beloshen nikia. They say Moshe Rabbeinu, if he would have known that there was profit in it, he wouldn't have written it. So they're sort of making fun of the whole thing, and they're in Zalzel. Kyosar Rav Dimi, he asked me, you are trying to get some guy to pay you back. And you know that he doesn't have to pay you back. Also, you shouldn't make yourself appear in front of him. He's going to be embarrassed, and it's going to cause him pain. You shouldn't be like a guy trying to collect all the time. If you do it, you're causing him 2 sufferings. It's like you dragged him through fire and water. Listen to this halacha. You shouldn't loan money to somebody without eidim. If you do it, because the borrower can come to deny that there was ever a loan. He doesn't want to pay it back. Come to an avera. So documenting the loan, you're doing a mitzvah. If you do it, there's a clause. It means when the malva comes to collect, and he's not going to have proof, people will say he's coming to collect and he has no proof. So the people will curse him. Armele Rabbanu Ravashi. Ravina fulfilled all divrei chacham, big things, little things. So Ravashi wanted to test him. Ravashi sent right before Shabbos, where everyone's busy. Listen, I heard there's a piece of land available. I want to buy. Loan me $10. I don't have the money right now. Well, what about, so Shalach le, listen, Nesi Marsai Nichtav Ksava. What do you mean? You have to provide witnesses so we can write a star. He knows the halacha that you shouldn't lend money unless you document it. Shalach le Ravashi, but afilu anonami, well, you don't trust me? Shalach le Koshakin Mar, the Torah begirsa mishtuli. Listen, Kavachomer, you're so busy in your limit, you're going to forget. And there'll be a klo, ani gorim klo atzmi, I'll get the klo. That I'm doing loans without documentation. Ton Rabban. Shloisha tsoyakim ve'enu nani. 3 people daven, they're not answered. Eluin, mishi yesh lemos, umavoson shlobedim. Person has money, he loans it without aiding. Va'kona odem la'atzmo. Somebody who sells himself as an eved. Mishi ishto moshaslov, somebody who allows his wife to dominate him. Koina odem la'atzmo, ma'i, ikede amri, toilet nechasav b'nochri. What does that mean? You acquired a master. Sometimes the government thinks you have money and they're going to take taxes. So you say, no, this money belongs to my neighbor, the goy. But sometimes the neighbor will hear about it and then he'll keep it and you lose all your money. Ikedi Amri, it's a koisev nechasav l'vona b'chayev. Somebody gives a gift while he's alive to his children. And it's like King Lear. And then the kids, don't treat him well. And they turn out to be his master. Iked the Amri Dvishle Bahamasa Velazal Masachrisa. Means someone has bad mouth in a certain city, he doesn't move to another city. So he created problems for himself. We should come back soon to learn this. Okay, we'll start the new parak tomorrow.
Okay, correct.
Our regular time, 8:00. Tonight.
Any shkoyach.